Okay, here we are going live late as per usual. I apologize for that. I was having some technical difficulties. The batteries in this camera may die, but I got two more on the charger, so hopefully this will last longer. It should last more than long enough before those are charged, and then we'll swap them out at some point. We'll be able to keep going. But what's going on, guys? You got me, Lightsaber Samurai, in the building. Give me just a moment. As per usual, I have to let people know we are here. And is this light bright enough? Actually, can we crank that up to like 50%? I like that. Okay, I like 50%. Let's keep it at 50. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully your Christmas was good. And I guess I can I drop my chair? No, it's as low as it'll go. Okay. My head is cut off. I usually like a little bit of headroom there, but excuse me while I just sound off the alarm, let everybody know that we're finally here. Because again, I apologize. I'm like 15 minutes late, but you know, it'd be like that. It really do. So anyway, I'm just going to wait for some people to join us anyway. But yeah, I got tons of pickups that I want to show off for end of the year honors. And yeah, let's do that. So like I said, I'm just waiting for more people to hop in the chat. And actually, I can post that in my community post. Can I add to that? Can I edit? Yes, I can edit. So stop. There we go. Post that link. Bam, there we go. Links there. And then let me go on the book where my face is at. Okay, got a couple of people in. Like I said, I'm just hanging out for a couple of minutes. I'm waiting for more people to show up. And then we shall get started here. Keep it in discussion. And again, I'm just waiting for people to show up. If you're just joining us, Lightsaber Samurai here. We're back again for another live stream, and I am excited. We are getting ready to get into these pickups. Again, a lot of them are from the KC Retro video game swap meet that I was in last Saturday or a couple of Saturdays ago. And then some other stuff that I got either for a birthday or Christmas or just things that I've picked up, throughout the month of December. So, alrighty. Okay. Oh, we got a couple more people here. Stutter and Stick, what's going on? K Haven's in the house. Let's go. I'm ready. Yeah, man. I'm waiting on just a couple of more people, and we shall get started. I'm never good about announcing these things ahead of time. I announced it. I just got home, and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm about to bust out a live stream. I was actually feeling under the weather for the last couple of days, but I'm feeling a little bit better, and I forced myself to get out. I had to run a couple of errands, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and bust out this live stream. I got the time. I got my sparkling water with me. Let's get it. I got the merchandise down here off screen. Let's do it. So, like I said, I'm just letting some people know. And once I send out all these notifications, then we will hop to it. Speaking of which, how are you guys doing? Did anybody get anything good for Christmas? So let's talk about it. How was your Christmas? You guys get anything without giving it away? Any PS2 pickups? I got a couple of PS2 pickups, not as many as usual, but that being said, We got some good things on the PS1, as well as I got a couple of P pickups, and I got some really cool ones on the PS4. So yeah, so we back. And I was really on the hunt for PlayStation Vita, and I kind of struck out. I went to that swap meet, and there was some good Vita stuff there, but I honestly just didn't bring enough money. Next convention I go to, I want to bring, I brought like $175, and I really should have been like 400 for real. If I brought 400, I would have cleaned up. There was a couple of cool games that I had to just eventually just bite the bullet and just let go because I didn't have the funds to procure them. And I was trying to save some money for Christmas and stuff like that. But man, next time we will get that. So absolutely. Okay, Sterner says, I really like your channel, man. Even if I don't comment much, but I drop the likes and thanks for all the great content. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I know that, and I'm that way too. Like there's a lot of channels that I like, and I'm out there lurking. I don't always comment because I don't want to just put the generic great video, even though that's exactly how I felt. I'm like, man, this is a great video. But yeah, I definitely hit that like and subscribe, to channels that I like. So, but yeah, I appreciate you being here, and definitely appreciate you catching me here in the live streams. Again, these are never planned. I do try to live stream on Sundays around this time, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Central. So they're usually around the same time. But the last couple of weekends, like I said, I've been missing out mainly because a couple of weekends ago was the retro swap meet. Of course, Christmas almost made me not do it today, and the fact that I wasn't feeling well, but I'm feeling okay, and I need to get it out here because I got another video dropping in the next day or so, and I'm really trying to get back on my 2 videos, 1 live stream a week schedule that I was in when I was going hard in the summer of 2021. So I'm definitely trying to get back to that. I'm gonna say K Haven's in the house. What's going on? K Haven, you've been doing really well. And as K Haven is actually a perfect example. I do watch a lot of your videos, K Haven, especially your reactions to the SPC cryptids and all that stuff. Like I started watching those on the infographics show. And infographics is one that put me on to the SPC Corporation. And then you started doing all the reactions. And so I see your channel is blown up. Actually, you're over, like last time I looked, you were 6,000 plus, I think. So congratulations to you, man. Good job. But yeah, perfect example. I watch them. I don't always comment, but I'll be out there lurking, and I'm dropping my likes and whatnot. So yeah, we out here. So we got 3, like I said, a couple more, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And everybody else will just have to catch these on the replay because again, we got some good stuff. I don't want to keep y'all waiting forever. I want to start doing these earlier in the day too, because I know there's a lot of people, a lot of my friends across the pond in Europe. But I mean, for those guys, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning right now for them, or something crazy like that. But where is the one I always post to? Sorry, there's a group I was looking for to post to, and now I don't see it. So I don't know. Yeah, man, we just gonna say screw it, man, and just get with this stuff here. One of the groups, they was kind of having some issues. I wonder if that group just like disbanded because it was a bunch of drama. I was about to leave that group anyway because there was a bunch of craziness going on in there. Do one last look because I don't see either of the groups that I was thinking about. Yeah, that's crazy. They're gone. Huh. I'll have to investigate that after the stream. I wonder what the heck happened there. Yeah, we out of there though. Interesting. But anyway, move that to the side. Let's hop in with some of these pickups. Like you guys know, I went to the KC Retro Video Game Swap Meet a few weeks ago, so most of these pickups come from that. And I dropped that video a couple of weeks ago. And in that, I said I was gonna show the stack, and I said I was gonna go over it, and I meant to do the live stream that same week, and then it didn't happen. So, but I think I got one PS2 game, so we'll start with PS2 for you. This is brought to us by Atari and Forgotten Realms. This is Demonstone. And this is a game that I picked up at the swap meet, and I just grabbed it because it's just a game I've never played it. And I was with my friend Lord Zybalba, and he's like, man, he's talking about how the artwork to this game was just burned into his memory. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, man. I used to see this game like all the time, like back in the day. And just, it was one of those games that I kind of wanted to play and then just never got around to it. It seems to be kind of like your swords and sorcery kind of gauntlet style game. And but it's only one player, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I don't know if it's more of just like a hack and slash or an action adventure game instead, but I mean, we'll see. This also came out on the OG Xbox as well, and this was just a super clean copy, and it came in this nice little protective sleeve. It's not sealed; it's just in this nice protective sleeve. It was complete in box, and it was like $5, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. Josh, what's up from the UK? Hey, what's going on, Josh? Hey, speaking of which, Josh, what's the time over there? Because I know a couple of my other friends like Generation Pixel and Beyond Useless Gaming. I know they're in the UK area, and I know Generation Pixel. He was telling me sometimes like, yeah, man, I can't stay long because like these streams come late for us. So, how far ahead are you guys compared to us? So I was just curious. By the way, Merry Christmas, everybody who is joining the live stream. Like I said, we got Josh H all the way from the UK. Retro Tibron is in the house. What's going on, my friend? And then we got I'm gonna mess your name up. Dai Gyaku Satu. So yeah, let me see. That was terrible. Gyaku Satsu. Dai Gyakusatsu is how I'm going to pronounce that. He is also from Wichita, Kansas, just like me. So we just figured that out. He saw the live stream or he saw the swap meet video that I put out and let me know that he was from the 316. So yeah, he was asking my Christmas. My Christmas was good. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. Put down some of your scores and pickups below. I like to see what everybody got. Okay, so Josh says it's 11:30. Okay, so right now, yeah, we going on midnight over there. So I got to remember that. So if I live stream at 6, so we're 6 hours ahead. So 6 p.m. here is midnight there. So I'll keep that in mind. Waves and Games, Peter is in the house. What's going on, Waves and Games? Merry Christmas. And a day, haha, not sure what to call the day after Christmas. It's yeah, I don't know what to call it either. Retail returns day. I guess I actually had to do some of that myself. I bought my girlfriend this dress that she had her eye on, and I got one size too big, and so I had to go back today and flip flop it out. Luckily, they still had her size, so I didn't get in too much trouble because I got a dress that was too big. But I was worried about that. Dresses are weird, like especially when the sizes change from manufacturer to manufacturer. Anyway, going on with the pickups here, let's look at some PSP stuff. So this was also from the swap meet. First game up, Warriors of the Lost Empire on the PSP. This is another one of those that looks like a gauntlet style, like action RPG, hack and slash, all that good stuff that I like. And it's on the PSP, and we like our PSP. So I think this one I got for like $5 or $10 too. So I was like, yeah, $10. I go ahead and grab that. It was complete too. Ooh. Yep, it was also complete inbox and all that good stuff. So yeah, don't know. I haven't got a chance to play it yet. Don't know how well it's gonna play or if it's gonna be worth it. But like I said, the artwork on the outside is cool, and looking at the back of it, yeah, like I said, it looks like almost like a gauntlet style game, but a little more. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. It's Boxing Day. Yeah, absolutely. So Canada and the UK celebrate Boxing Day. So yeah, happy Boxing Day to all of my friends in the Empire. So I forgot all about that. Absolutely. Let's see. Also on was this the only other PSP game I got? Oh, okay, yeah. Let me show this one off too. Went ahead and got Killzone Liberation. I've always wanted this game too. This is one of those games I always wanted to play and just never got around to it. I am a huge fan of the Killzone franchise, all the way going back to the PS2. It was billed as a Halo killer when it came out. It wasn't quite that good, but it was still pretty good. It just the PlayStation 2 just wasn't the hardware wasn't powerful enough to do everything that they wanted to do, but the PlayStation 3 certainly was, and Killzone 2 and 3 are fantastic looking games on that system. And this one came out around that time, and this looks more like a top-down shooter. I don't know if it's like a tactical game or whatever the case, or if it looks like either a tactical game or like a twin stick, like an isometric twin stick shooter. But I mean, it's Killzone, so I'm definitely going to check that out. And the last PSP game I got, let's see. Oh, Chris is in the house. Old ass retro gamer. What's going on, boss? Merry Christmas and happy Boxing Day. Lazy Game says you can't kill Halo. Halo is infinite. Absolutely. Speaking of which, I've not played Halo Infinite yet. So let me know. Is it good? Because I've heard some mixed things about it. But I mean, but I think most people are talking from a multiplayer standpoint. I really like the campaigns, the single player experience in Halo, and I like that they're co-op too. So me and my younger brother used to hop on Halo and play that co-op all the time and just put it on Legendary Edition and just have a blast. So a legendary difficulty rather. Let's see this last game here on the PSP. This one's kind of an uncommon game by the name of Bounty Hounds, and this one brought to us by Bandai Namco. So this one is, from what I've been told, is like a Dynasty Warrior style game set in the 24th century. And so you play as this bounty hunter fighting in all these sci-fi these sci-fi type of battles. But like I said, they're large scale and you kill waves of enemies like you do in the Dynasty Warrior series. I picked that one up. He was 23, but the cool thing about these swap meets is you can haggle a little bit. So I was like, 23, like, will you do 20? And he's like, yeah, sure. So picked that one up for $20. It was also complete in box. This you'll notice the writing on it here. It actually says property of Sega, and I think this copy was used. They take these to other like E3 and like those like big conventions like that, like the actual companies do. And so you'll notice this little cutout here, and the cutout had like some kind of property of Sega. Usually the vendor was telling me usually they have a sticker, but these people were lazy and just wrote in Sharpie property of Sega. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's a little cool piece of history there. So I went ahead and grabbed that again. PSP, I'm always trying to, update my PSP collection, and it's just a fantastic system. So anytime I see a PSP game that I don't own, I definitely grab it. Especially now, like PSP is still relatively cheap to collect for. There's not many games that are upwards of like even $100. You don't really have those like heavy hitter games that you do on like the Vita. There's a lot of those Japanese games on the Vita that are crazy expensive right now. Hey, VGL is in the house. What's going on, sir? Josh 8 says Bounty Hounds, says never seen that Bounty Hunter game. We'll definitely have to check it out. Yeah, it sounds cool. I think Metal Jesus Rocks talked about this years and years ago. But yeah, like I said, anything that's PSP that I haven't seen, I had to get it. And like looking at it on the back, the graphics look cool. Like I said, it looks like a Dynasty Warrior style game. So I'm definitely excited to check that out. Again, forgive me. I'm still getting over a cold. So let's see. Moving on here. Oh, here's a cool one on the PS3. So shout out to my homeboy Lord Zybalba, aka my buddy Andre. So we were at the swap meet, and this was toward the end. We were doing like one last pass through, and I'm trying to see. I had like $20 left, and I'm like, man, let me see. Like, is there anything I could get for $20 or less that I didn't have or anything like that? And so I see this game here, and it was a fantastic game. I have every other game in the series. This was the only one I was missing, but it was, it was $35. We talked him down to 30, I think, but I was still short. So my friend, he bought it for me for my birthday. Long story short, because my birthday was the day before the swap meet. So this is Way of the Samurai 4. And I love the Way of the Samurai series. They're kind of like pseudo open world, like choose your own adventure, like action RPGs where you play as usually as like a Ronin or some kind of vagabond swordsman in the Edo period. And you'll usually come to this town, and you'll usually decide the fate of the town by siding with one faction or the other. Way of the Samurai 4 did not come out in America, so the only way to play it, luckily the PS3 is region free, and so you can get the European version that you see here, the PAL version, and play it in English and all of that good stuff, just like all the other games. So that was cool to see that, in the wild and randomly in Kansas City, because I always forget all the time, like, about all the great imports that are on the PS3 and PS4, and so that was definitely one of them. Now I have the whole set of the. Actually, there's one more. A spiritual sequel that's on the PS Vita. I can't remember the name of it now that I'm thinking about it, but that's the last one. And then I'll have every Way of the Samurai slash Soul of the Samurai, which is how it started out on the PS1. So I'll have all those games. So that was exciting. So Lord Zybaba, thank you again. We salute you. I appreciate that, man. That was a great birthday present. Let's see what else. Are there any games in particular that you are looking for? Anything on the list? There's a couple of random ones on the OG Xbox. Like, I'm looking for the sequel to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm also looking for a copy of Matrix Path of Neo. I swore I have that game. It's somewhere here, and I was gonna pick it up and play it again because I've been kind of on a Matrix kick now with the new Matrix movie that's coming out, and you got that Matrix Awakening that's kind of like tech demo that they showed, and so I'm dying for a new Matrix game, and so I wanted to go back and pick those up because they were great games, and I just wanted to experience them again, and also we could be looking at a situation where those games jump up in price because people will get re-excited about all things the Matrix. So yeah, I've definitely been on the lookout for that. PS2, I had it on the PS2, so PS2 or OG Xbox, doesn't matter which version. Because I played it on both back in the day. But yeah, there's that. Always looking for actually one of the games that was on my list I found, and I'll show that one next. So that's off my list. There's a couple of them. I always have a list, and then whenever anybody asks me, then I always immediately forget that list. So I'll think about some more as we go along with the pickups here. Let's see. Oh wow, didn't know they made more than the first one. Yeah. There's a Way of the Samurai 2 and 3, and two parts. Way of the Samurai 1 and 2 came out on the PS2. Way of the Samurai 3 and 4 came out on the PS3. And then there was a game that came out before that. Hold on. And let's see, where are you at? And so I always show this one. This one came out on the PlayStation 1, and this was brought to us by Konami. This is Soul of the Samurai. And I've never researched if this was actually part of the series or if this is a spiritual prequel, but if you play this game, the formula is almost exactly the same. The difference between this, though, is there's a lot of cool boss battles in it. But so this one actually is still one of my favorite in the series. But you'll play as this Ronin or this ninja. They both come to this town. It's pseudo open world, just like the other games where it's a bunch of kind of like static screens, and you run around solving like side quests and going through the main quest and fighting enemies and getting new weapons, new swords and things like that. Like, the formula is exactly the same, save for like a few minor tweaks. So I definitely consider this part of the series, although I've never actually researched to confirm that it's actually part of the series. But great game on the PS1. So yeah. And then there's, like I said, there's one on the PSP. It's called something, and it's like I can't remember the name of it. Something Way of the Samurai Story is what it's called. Like, and so I guess it's like a spin-off, or like I said, a spiritual sequel or something like that. Dude, Path of Neo is so hard to find. Yeah, I don't know why, and I'm afraid it's not expensive, but I'm afraid it might be very soon, especially with all the pandemonium surrounding the new Matrix movie, and like we're back in Matrix season right now. So I may bite the bullet and just buy a copy on eBay or something like that. But yeah, I used to see it around all the time. And I know I owned it. I know I had it, and I have no clue where it's at, like at all. So, but like I said, I know I had it on PS2. So I'll be looking for copies of those in the near future. But right now we broke out here. So Christmas did a 1-2 punch on my wallet. Garrett Spencer's in the house. Garrett, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. We are going over a bunch of pickups that I got in December. This is, like I said, I'm excited for every single game that I picked up here, including these games on the PS1. And oh, actually, real fast, let's do another PS2 game, one that I forgot about. And this one I just picked up at Vintage Stock the other day. This is Kaya, the Dark Lineage. And this is a fantastic platformer on the system. This is a true hidden gem for PlayStation 2. It's definitely one of my top like 5 like 3D platformers of all time, and that's including like Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, all that. Like this stands up there, right up there with those games in my opinion. I already own this game, but my copy was an incomplete like Blockbuster copy, so I wanted to get this nice clean copy with all the back artwork and all that stuff. So that one I may trade off, or I may just like give it away here on the channel or something like that, just send it out to somebody. But this is a fantastic game, and like I said, at $15, this one is one you also don't see anymore either. Fun fact about this game actually came out around the same time as The Legend of Korra, so like 2004, 05, something like that. And actually The Legend of Korra on Nickelodeon, it was actually going to be named The Legend of Kaya, but this game had the rights to the name and all of that first, so they changed their name to Korra because they were afraid that they might get sued if they left it The Legend of Kaya. Another fun fact, in the Legend of Kaya or Legend of Korra TV show, one of Aang's children is named Kaya. She's the waterbender, and so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's why they changed up the name because of this game. So let's see who else is in the house. Lit is in the house. What's going on? Hello. Hello, hello. Let's see, Ways and Games. If you're giving things away, shipping is pretty cheap to Missouri. Man, I wish I had known that, because I put a couple of things like filmmaker type stuff in the dad box that I sent, and I passed off the dad box to another creator while I was in Missouri for that swap meet. So one of the creators in my video, they got that dad box, so hopefully we'll see content on that soon. I felt bad about it because all the other content creators besides myself, they all got flown out there, and I wasn't thinking about it. They told me that they were going to be there, and I'm like, oh snaps, I was just about to ship this to you anyway. And so I brought it, and I'm like, hey man, instead of shipping it to you, I can just give it to you right now. And it was all excited. And then I thought about like me and the creator were talking back and forth, and they mentioned flying, and I'm like, oh crap, like you had to fly with that big ass package, so you had to ship it off. So I'm sorry, man, I was gonna pay that shipping, but I just got so excited because we are gonna be in the same place. So I'm like, man, let me just give it to you. It was, yeah. So I feel bad about that. I really do. We got some new people in the house. What's going on? Hey, Pac-Man Case is in the house. Oh, what's up? Pac-Man Case. Yeah, we got the Pac Rats with him. Pac Rats out here. Let's see, always up for a new platformer. Yeah, man. And like I said, quality wise, that platformer is right up there with the likes of Jack and Daxter and all of that good stuff. Yeah, man. This is what's up, man. Andy, how you been, man? I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hopefully things have been good. I've been a bum around around YouTube, though. I haven't really been out here supporting like I should be. So that's my bad. Let's look at real quick at my only Dreamcast game. So this was a Dreamcast, and that was another thing. I was on the hunt for Dreamcast games at the swap meet, and they had a fantastic selection of Dreamcast games. And honestly, the prices weren't that bad. All of them were slightly under price charting, but the problem is Dreamcast games are just so darn expensive. It really didn't matter. I had a couple of games that I brought up there. Actually, Legend of Kaya might have been one of them. But I took a bunch of games up there to trade because it's a swap meet. So I got Urban Chaos. And if you guys remember last February, for Backlog February, I reviewed this game on the PS1, and in it I thought it was a great game, but found that the console was really limiting, and I thought that the game might play so much better on a more powerful console. Well, here it is on the Dreamcast. So I'm excited to have this on Dreamcast. Also, I haven't cracked it open yet. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll look at this for backlog February for this, this coming year. Since I reviewed the PS1 version last year, I can review the Dreamcast version this year. But like I said, hopefully a lot of the things, the quirks with like the controls and like the draw distance and some of the animation and some of the things like that, hopefully those have been fixed with the Dreamcast version, since the Dreamcast graphics was very close to what we saw on like the PS2. So yeah, I'm excited for that because we never got that on the PS2 or anything like that. I think it came out on PC also, but I'm not a PC gamer. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to really get that. Oh, you says I got the PS2 version of Urban Chaos. Okay, so I will be looking for that on PS2 then. Urban Chaos artwork is badass. Yeah, man. This game, like this game is definitely ahead of its time. It's definitely like a pseudo open world game. Like you run around the city and like again, there's NPCs that you can take missions from, and there's random crimes that are happening. It plays a lot like a proto true crime streets of LA. I mean, you can hop in cars and drive around the city, and you'll stop prostitutes and like drug dealers and disorderly conduct, people just sitting on the side of the road peeing, and like you got to deal with that because people with their dongs out like terrorizing citizens and stuff, in addition to the story mode and going through the story missions. I thought it was really good on the PS1, but again, it really hadn't aged well. And so like I was like, man, like if this was on a newer console, like it might be a lot better. And so then I found out it was on the Dreamcast and PC. And I didn't know apparently the PS2 too, because Garrett says he has it. Version is the cop shooting. Oh no, yeah. So you're talking about there's two games called Urban Chaos. So yeah, the other one, actually, the other Urban Chaos that we got in the 6th gen, it has no relation to this. It is named the exact same thing though. It's also called Urban Chaos. I have it on the Xbox. Fantastic first person shooter. That's another hidden gem on the system. And Urban Chaos on the Xbox is definitely like top 10 first person shooters for me. You're right. It does kind of have like like a GoldenEye kind of vibe, or like it plays a lot like Nightfire that I played on the PS2 around the same time. It was actually, that game was made by Sucker Punch, so that was the same developer that went on to make the Batman Arkham games. So yeah, the same developer. That's how they got their start making Urban Chaos, the first person shooter on the PS2 and Xbox. Fantastic game, but yeah, same name, but they don't have anything in common. So yeah, you can use different weapons, throw meat cleavers and tase. But yeah, the taser, fun, man. The taser's a lot of fun. Most fun I've had with a taser since Siphon Filter. Like that was a great game. Great game. Let's see. Speaking of games with chaos in the title, do you have Kung Fu Chaos? Yeah, Kung Fu Chaos. That was an OG Xbox game. I haven't played it. It looked like it was some kind of like 4-player game. It looked crazy, but yeah, I do have Kung Fu Chaos on the OG Xbox, and it's deep in the backlog. Haven't played it. Retro Gaming Stars in the house. Hey, Lightsaber just got some brand new Nintendo Switch games, and I absolutely love them to death. Yeah, I still don't have. I have not got on the Switch. I was gonna get a Switch for my girlfriend this year for Christmas, but then she really saw this dress and was gushing over this dress. So I was like, I'll get the dress now. I might get her the Switch for her birthday. Her birthday's in March, so I'm gonna give me some time to get my money back up. But yeah, I want to get a Switch because of that new Pokemon game. Looks insane. Like it looks crazy. Like I'm excited for that. Let's see, going on with some more pickups on the PS. I got a couple of PS1 pickups. This is one I've been looking for a while. I never see this in the wild. I was gonna bite the bullet, and it was like $40 online, I think, but this guy had it for like 20-25. This is Soul Divide on the PS1, and this is a really cool side-scrolling shooter game that kind of has like the pre-rendered graphics like you would see in like Donkey Kong Country. And so I'll definitely have to showcase this probably in my next PlayStation 1 Hidden Gems. This was a great game that a cousin of mine had back in the day. It was like he had it, and I remember liking it, and then I forgot all about the game. And then Joe from GameSack, he reviewed that game like a year ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, Soul Divide, like that's a great game. I need to go look for that. And I started looking for it then, and it was nowhere to be seen. And so I finally found it at that swap meet. So I'm like, man, I need to go ahead and grab this. Another game that I've been looking for recently. This was another game that was on my list. for you who wanted to know, and I got it at a great price. So again, I had to snatch it. And swap meets, man, like you can find some really good deals there, especially towards the end. So that's a little tip for you. Like any kind of convention, like try not to blow all of your money like I did, because I didn't have that much money left towards the end. But towards the end, also I didn't stay towards the very end either, because I wanted to drive home and get home before it got dark, because it was a 3-hour drive back. But I suspect that a lot of these conventions and things like that, that the vendors don't want to lug all this crap back home. So I feel like as we get closer to the end of them, they really try to make the deals and really just try to sell the stuff off. And so this one here, Trickin' Skateboarding from Capcom on the PS1. And I don't know if you can see that. I got that for $10, which is a great price. It's not a super expensive game. You can get it for less than 40, probably between like 30 and 40. 25 and 40, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I got it for about half price, third of the price, whatever the case. I never played this game, but it's a snowboarding game, kind of like the Cool Border series that we had on the PlayStation 1, but this was brought to us by Capcom. So you get the added bonus of unlocking Chris and Claire Redfield from Resident Evil 2. You can play as them in this game and shred it up on the snow, which I thought was pretty cool. That's another kind of thing that I've been collecting. I've been collecting a lot of games that have like special guest characters like that in it, because I do want to showcase that for an upcoming video. Who else is in the house here? Let's see. Evil Alex is in the house. Merry late Christmas. Hello. Late Christmas means Boxing Day. So yes, December 26th is Boxing Day for those of you who are in the Empire, all of you in Canada and the UK and maybe India. I don't know if they still do Boxing Day in India, but yeah, happy Boxing Day for those of you across the pond, and happy or merry late Christmas to everybody here in the chat. Let's see. Hey, Lightsaber, I hope you are having a good New Year, man. Love your videos so far. I'm trying to get back into the swing of it. I've been really lacking on my YouTube channel, and I started another YouTube channel recently where I talk about cameras and stuff like that. So yeah, but let's see. Let me show off one more. Actually, I'll show you my camera channel here in a second, because I always got to plug that. But I got one PS3 game, right? It was just one. Yep. One PS3 game, but this one I saw, I had to grab it because I did not have this. This is the Hitman Trilogy, and you guys may have saw a while ago, I made a video where I was talking about a bunch of different compilation. I can't say that word, but like a bunch of like HD trilogies and remasters. There's a ton of them on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, but I think there's more of them on the PS3. But yeah, a bunch of like trilogies and stuff that they remastered in HD, and this was the latest one that I picked up. And so I'm kind of on the quest to get all of those too, as some of those HD trilogies might hop up in price, like Killzone, for instance, the Killzone trilogy. You got Killzone 2, Killzone 2, and Killzone 3. All bundled together on the PS3, and it's cool because it's kind of like an HD version of the original Killzone, and that's cool because we never got any kind of remaster of that game. And besides this collection, you can only play it on the original PS2 version. I mentioned earlier that the game, it didn't run quite as smooth on the PlayStation 2 because the hardware just wasn't able to do everything that they wanted it to do. And a lot of those issues have been fixed on that trilogy. And so that's the definitive version of the original Killzone game. And so if you're a fan of Killzone, you got to have that. And it plays fantastic. And I think that's why that trilogy is around the $45-50 mark. So that's one of the more expensive ones, but none that I've come across have been super expensive. I think that one I got for like 25 or something like that. So very pricey, the PS3 trilogies. Yeah, like they are definitely some of the ones that are kind of rising up in price. Like, and honestly, a lot of PlayStation 3 games are currently trending down again because all that pandemonium. I told y'all in an earlier video that a lot of those games were artificially inflated. So we'll see a lot of those games come back down, not where they were before all of the BS started. But like I said, I was looking at games like Folklore and like 3D Game Heroes. They had gotten as high as like $90 to $120. I think you can get both of those games now for like 60 or less. So they've gotten back into like a point where people can just go buy them now. So Lollipop Chainsaw still hovering around 70. What's the other one? Persona 4 3D Ultimax, it came down a little bit. I think that game's like 80 now. It had got up to like 130, 150. And so like I said, they'll go back down. They'll continue to drop in price. They won't go down as low as they were before, but they'll drop back down in price. But the trilogies are up there too, like the Ratchet and Clank trilogy. That one's like 65. And so yeah, you really got to scoop up. I'm really on the lookout for all of those trilogies. The Killzone trilogy was another one, or not Killzone, but the Splinter Cell trilogy. That was another expensive one. And that one I paid 35 for, and I think it's around $60 now too. So oh yeah, what's the one with the cheerleader? The shut up. Yep, that was Lollipop Chainsaw. Killzone 2 and 3 are still fun. First Killzone has clunky controls and no checkpoints, very hard to play today. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, on the trilogy, some of those things were smoothed out, but you can definitely tell like it didn't age as well as 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 look so good. Like the graphics on Killzone 2 and 3, like they look like PS4. They look like you told me that was like an early PS4 game, like I might believe you. Like Killzone 2 and 3, like they look so good and they run so smooth. And Killzone 3, I like playing that with the PlayStation Move. So I play it with the PlayStation Move's little aim controller. And that's a lot of fun like that. It's a 3D game too. And so I always wanted to play that in 3D, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's see. Your dreams online. Your dreams online. Oh, is that a game? I have not heard of that. If that's a game, I have the price of Prince of Persia 3 trilogy that wasn't too pricey. Yeah, the Prince of Persia 3. I got that one too. I think I got that one for about 25 too. So, and like I said, $25 for 3 games. Like, I mean, and 3 great games like the original, Sans trilogy. Like, yeah, I'd buy that all day. Quake Arena is still a fun shooting game. It can be addicting in a way. I got it on PS2 and played a PC version of it a long time ago. Yeah, I used to get down on Quake all the time. And then it went from Quake to Unreal Tournament. Isn't there a Resistance trilogy on PS3? Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have that one. Then that one's definitely one of the expensive ones too. At least I don't think I have it. Do I have it? No, I don't think I got it. But it wasn't like a trilogy. It wasn't like a nice little trilogy like this. The Killzone trilogy that I saw was a box set. It was like just like a box set that had all 3 games like in a big like cardboard sleeve, and that was going for like $70. Like it was crazy. And it's crazy because and that one for me isn't as worth it because all of those games came out on the PS3. You can buy those games individually and pay about $20. And so if I found like just the cardboard sleeve like by itself, I would just buy that and then just buy the 3 games and save some money. But yeah, the Killzone trilogy I saw was in a big it was cardboard sleeve and it had all 3 games in it, and they were selling. I saw that at the retro store like some months back for like $70, and I was like, hell no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Killzone trilogy, I could see that because it had an HD version of the PlayStation 2 game that there was never an HD version of. So I could see that commanding more money. But the other one, like the Resistance trilogy, all those games are from the same generation. You can buy all those games, not a big deal. So, like I said, this Hitman trilogy, I mean, it's got a Hitman Silent Assassin, which was part 2, and that was one of my favorite. And then it's got Contracts and Blood Money. So some of those came out on the 6th generation. So those are you got HD versions of those games. And I think a lot, like you could play like the Prince of Persia games, for instance, you can play those digitally, but they never came out physically until they came out in these trilogy collections. So I can see how those would command more money. But the Resistance one, I don't know why that's so pricey, other than the fact that it must be uncommon to have that sleeve. Because like I said, buying all 3 games separately, you can get all 3 games for like $20. So I don't know what that's about. Let's see. Yo, Lightsaber, your dreams online. That's clearly a bot. Okay, yeah, I don't know. He got the Russian letters, so I was kind of like, so yeah, I ain't fooling with him. But for future investments, do you think Shikigami Tensei 3 will be rare for a Switch and PS4 version in the future? Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like shit, like anything, like anything Atlas, like it is. I buy anything Atlas right off the bat because it's always going to command a high price. I mean, I haven't gotten that yet, but I do want to get that one because that one was. I think that wasn't that the one where you could play as Dante from Devil May Cry. That's another one of the Shikigami Tensei games. Was it Digital Devil Summoner? It's one of those where you can get Dante from Devil May Cry in your party, and so I had it on PS2 back in the day. Or my brother did, or something like that. But I think that's the one that got remastered. So I definitely like to check that out. Josh said Russian RoboCop. Boy 12. Oh snaps! I missed the pickups. Don't worry, man. I got a ton more here. So I'm about halfway through. So I'm running all late and stuff. What's up, lightsaber man? I'm chilling, man. I was running late too. I had some technical difficulties again. We might be our camera might die. I don't know where the battery is. It was like half full. I didn't realize that all my batteries for this camera were dead. I got two charging over there, so it usually takes them like 40 minutes to charge to full. How long have we been streaming so far? Oh, we've been streaming for 45 minutes, so they're probably charged over there. So I'm probably gonna get up here in a second and just switch them out so I don't have to worry about it dying on us randomly. So the Digital Devil Saga games have maintained pretty low prices from what I last saw. Yeah, and that's true. And I think I don't know. I think a lot of people just slept on those. A lot of the people got introduced to that whole series with Persona 3. At least I did. I remember those games. And like I said, I think it was my brother that had that one because he was showing me Dante, and we played that one a little bit, but I didn't really get into that series until like Persona 3. So yeah, let's see. Void FYI. Yeah, give me just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and switch that battery out so I can stop thinking about it. Then we'll go into these next pickups, including this really cool one I got on the Xbox 360. And speaking of Atlas, it's an Atlas title. So give me just a second, and I'm gonna switch out this battery. You'll see the feed disappear for a second. You should still be able to hear me though. So I will be down for like 5 seconds and then come right back up. So give me a moment. Sorry, I put the wrong one in. Just a second. Okay, so yeah, we got full bars on this battery, so I won't have to worry about it again for the rest of the stream. So, alrighty here. Why are these things popping up now? So, where do you buy most of your games? eBay, Amazon, or retro video game stores? I still hit up the retro video game stores, and honestly, the prices usually aren't as bad as you think. Especially like for PS4 stuff, Xbox One stuff, I usually just go to GameStop still to get all that. Like they still got the lowest prices. I catch them slipping all the time. Like for instance, I got a copy of Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. I got a copy of that for $29.99. I had a $5 coupon, so I got that $25. That game at the time was like 120. I think it's also come down to 90 or so, but it's still an expensive game. But I got that super cheap. My homeboy, Mr. Right Way. If you watched one of his videos recently, he got Godzilla on the PS4. That's like a $250 game. He got that game for $50 or $60, something like that at GameStop. So I've been on the lookout. If I see a Godzilla in there, I'm scooping that up. I didn't realize that game was that expensive. So yeah, really like most of the stuff I just get from the video game stores. A lot of those people there are knowledgeable on video games, but a lot of them don't really like follow the market like that. And video game stores can't be bothered with like following the ups and downs of the cost of video games every single day. So they might update their prices like once a month, once every couple of months or something like that. Because big companies, especially like GameStop or like Vintage Stock, they can't be bothered with it. Vintage Stock I usually go to for a lot of like 7th gen stuff, like so Xbox 360, PS3. I also like to go to my local C-3po stores for that as well, because they got fantastic selections for 7th generation. But a lot of the heavy hitters I find all the time at Vintage Stock. And like I've bought the Godfather on PS3, like the Dawn's edition of the Godfather. That's the most expensive version of that game. It trends for like 50, $60. I always see it at Vintage Stock for $15. So I buy it and then I'll flip that. And so yeah, I see that one all the time. God, was it King Kong on the Xbox 360? The PS3 version of that game got canceled. So King Kong that's Peter Jackson's King Kong. That one on the 360. That's the only 7th gen version, the only HD version of that game that was ever released. So if you want to play it in HD, you got to buy the 360 version. As a result, that version of the game is also like 50, $60. I always see it in Vintage Stock for $9.99. So every time I see it, I buy it and then I flip it and keep that moving. I'm not into the reselling thing like that, but if I see something like that every once in a while, I'll go ahead and do it. I don't go out go to everywhere looking for the deals like that, but usually big stores like that just can't be bothered with keeping track of price charting every day. So I find good stuff in video game stores all the time. And other than that, I do a lot of shopping on Facebook Marketplace as well. And like I said, sometimes if I really just can't find something and or if I see a good deal on eBay, then I'll just go ahead and snag it on eBay. But for the most part, I do everything local, because I don't like to spend a lot of effort on it. And so really like my like I started collecting like 6 years ago, and I'm still under 1,000 games in my entire collection. I'm close. I'm at like 985. So we almost at 1,000, but like I said, I don't buy that many games, like just cause like I also try to play everything I own. So I don't really have like usually like big pickups like this. Like buying this many games in 1 month is very rare for me to do. But the deals was out there this month, especially with that swap meet. So I had to get it in. So let's see, Berserk is super expensive on eBay. Yeah, it's crazy because the mangaka of Berserk passed away, and literally like the day after he passed away, they started charging 200 and stuff for it on eBay. It started being sold around the $100 mark. So now like you see it on eBay, it's usually like anywhere between like 90 and like 130 on the high end. But yeah, like GameStop just had it sitting in there for $29.99, and this was after he had passed away. So quickly bought that, and I was like thank you, and kept it moving. Let's see. Good deal. Let's see. Absolutely. I love vintage, but they had Evo and wouldn't let me open it. So not sure if it was real or a repro. Oh, yeah. And see, yeah, like I said, they're vintage stock, but they're not like hardcore like retro. Like I said, CD trade posts in my town, they would let you open it, and usually they have tools, so they'll open it for you and be like, yeah, check it out, like what you think. But vintage stock is too commercial for that. Like you got to get that, sometimes you'll get somebody in the store that's like, a retro gamer, like really, is with the shit when it comes to that. And so they're cool with you doing it. But most people who don't know better, like, oh, you want to open it up, that's gonna break the game and this and that. Like they don't know any better. So a lot of them are really antsy on that. So it just depends on who you get when you're at vintage stock. But a lot of retro places like CD Trade Post, like I said, they got they got the tools on hand, and so if you ask them to open it up for you, they'll crack it open, or they'll let you do it yourself because they're aware that it's not going to break the game if you open the case just to look at the circuit board and all of that good stuff. So yep. So lame ass GameStop. Yeah, man, GameStop is pretty lame, but like I got no beef with GameStop like that. I mean, they're a big company. It happens, and so they do big company things that get on my nerves. But I mean, it's cool. Like I said, I still get a lot of good stuff. I don't like the fact that they really don't sell a lot of games in GameStop. Have you guys noticed that? Like the gaming sections, of course, like they're phasing out all their 7th gen stuff. So you might see like a little rack that's got like all of their like Wii and PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 stuff. And then it's basically PS4, Xbox One, Series X, and then PS5, and that's really all they sell. And then they sell a shit ton of Funko Pops, so you can get your Funko Pop fix. And they got a bunch of like swag in there that most people like don't care about like nearly as much as the game. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, I'm collecting for PS4 right now, pretty heavy. So I always see some good stuff. I got some, man, I'm excited to show you. Speaking of PS4, I got some good PS4 stuff here that I'm going to show you. But first, let me go into this Xbox 360 game that I was talking about. So yes, I got this bad boy sealed also for like 25 bucks. So I was super excited on that. And this is funny because I saw this game at my local CD trade post recently, but one of the people who worked there, one of the clerks had snagged it up before it got on the floor. So, you know, that's the advantage of working at a place like that. You get first dibs on all this stuff. So he picked his, you know, it was going for like 30 bucks, 35 bucks. And I'm like, man, I would have bought that. And he snagged it. And so at the I didn't get it. So I was like, damn it. But it put that game on my radar. And then at the swap meet, I saw it for 25. Didn't realize it was sealed until I bought it. And this is Spectral Force 3 on the Xbox 360 by our good friends at Atlas. And this is a tactical RPG, you know, kind of in that same realm of like Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff like that. So, from this is the third game in the series, but this is the only one that appeared in the West, from what I understand. And Microsoft, they gave Atlas the bag, you know, to bring this on the console because they were still in that phase of trying to appeal to the Japanese market. So they were trying to lock up shooters. There's a lot of great shooters on the Xbox 360 as a result of that. So you get some shooters and then you get some RPGs like this. And so the Xbox got some really good RPGs. I don't think this is one of them. From what I heard, this game is pretty lackluster. But like I said, it's a tactical RPG. It's by Atlas. It was completely sealed, and I got it for like 25 bucks. So, I mean, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and sit on that for a while and see what happens. So I was super excited to pick that up because, again, I missed out on it at the game store, but it was more at the game store. But if it turns out to be a dope game, I'm just going to open it and play it. I don't really care too much about having sealed games. Like I said, I don't look for sealed games. I was looking for this game and it just happened to be sealed. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So like I said, I got maybe 10 sealed games in my entire collection. So I don't really get down like that. Like I said, my goal is to play everything in my collection, which is hard to do when you keep adding to it. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, in all honesty, there are collectors out there who buy games just because the games was cheap or just look cool. Yeah, and like I said, I find myself doing that from time to time. And I hate that about myself because I like to think of myself as a gamer first, and I am. But like I said, the collector in me, like I said, if I see something that's like Atlas, I'm like, man, I know every Atlas game that I look for and I try to play is like hella expensive. So if I find an Atlas game that isn't, like I said, it was the same thing. With the other game on the Xbox 360 that I got over there, and I found it at GameStop for like $5. And what's the I can't, let me grab it real fast. I always show it off and I can't think of the name of it now. Something darkness, something. Operation Darkness. That's the one. Okay, so here's the one right here. Operation Darkness is the name of it. And I saw it at GameStop. I don't know if you can see it. I left the sticker on there. $4.49 is what I paid for it because this is back in the day when you can get the Elite Pro price. So Operation Darkness, I got that again because it was Atlas. And I had never seen this game before. And I'm like, man, for $4.49, like I might as well grab it. I saw it's got the only on Xbox thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a console exclusive. And it's by Atlas, and it's $5. Like, let me just go ahead and get that. Turns out I actually enjoy that game a lot. But like I said, Operation Darkness, that's an expensive game now, and it's only going to go up in price, and it's going up authentically too. So there's no artificial inflation there. Like, it was a rare game. I mean, it was a low print game. You know, a console exclusive, you know, on a console that didn't really have a lot of tactical RPGs like that. And so, yeah, like that. I just went ahead and grabbed it, and luckily I did because, again, now that game is super expensive. Do I got any of the new consoles? I don't. I couldn't get one yet. Hard to find for a normal price. Yeah, no way I'm paying a scalper to get a PS5 or an Xbox. I don't really care that much enough about it. Anyway, like I said, now is the time to collect for Xbox One and PS4. So I don't even care about what's going on PS5. It sucks though, because there are, some of those games that will go under the radar and some of those early games that'll turn rare that I'm going to miss out on. But I'd rather get those late title PS4 games that are going to be rare in the future. Because, like I said, the PS5, the ninth generation, will probably be the last generation for physical media anyway. And yeah, so I'm just trying to collect all the physical media stuff so I can have it for longer. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, I honestly I don't care about the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. Now if I'm waiting for the slim version of the PS5 because that console is gigantic. So when they come out with the PS5 Slim, then I'll buy it, because then they're going to, like I said, every PlayStation before it has a slim model. And with the PS3, they even went super slim, if you remember the George Foreman grill. So they're going to come out with a slim model. It's going to run just as well and all of that good stuff in the future. And hopefully this will be once the chip shortage is over and all of that stuff. So once all that happens, then I'll get a PS5. And when I get it, there'll be plenty of titles to play on it. And not to mention, hopefully, the slim version keeps its backwards compatibility so I can still play all my PS4 stuff on it too. So, we'll do it like that. And if it isn't backwards compatible, then I'm just going to have to get a big ass PS5. But when they drop the Slim, that means they're going to drop the price on the PS5 and it'll be more available. So I'll just get it then. Like I said, I don't really feel like I'm missing out. You know what I mean? There's not that console exclusive that's making me like, oh my God, like I got to get it, so I don't really care. But yeah, I feel you. There's no way I'm going to pay scalper prices for that. Let's see. I'm ranting now. I'm missing all the comments. Let me go back here. Let's see. Is it worth buying and playing? I basically just answered that. I don't think so yet. Like I said, give it another year or so, but in another year or so, they'll be readily available and then you won't have to worry about it. So any tips for video game collecting? I would really like to get into doing it. I actually have a video that you can go look at, and I'll pull it up here real quick and I'll show it. And so you can go find it on my channel, because actually I wrapped with a couple of collectors and who like to collect, and so I put together a list of some of my top 5 ways to video game collect. And like I said, I know a lot of a lot of resellers are popular right now, like my homeboy Mr. Right Way, and then you got Retro Rick and all of those guys. And like I said, I don't really do the going to going to thrift store all day, every day, because really I just don't have the time to do it. Like I got too much crap going on. Once you get big and you get to the point where you're doing YouTube, at least part-time, as a part-time income or even a full-time income, then you got time to go do that. I'm not at that point yet, so it's not really logical for me to do that. So but yeah, here's a video here I will show if I can remember how to use the share function. Oh, it's different. See, they got some different options now, so that's what I'll be worried about, these updates here we go. Boom, I should be sharing. There we go. So this video here, 5 tips for predicting rare games. Like I said, there's a couple of questions you got to ask yourself. First of all, what's your what console are you going to collect for? What's your favorite console? And that of course depends on what your age is and what console you grew up playing and all of that stuff. Whatever you have the most nostalgia for, start there. Because when I started, it was GameSack, watching GameSack when I started watching YouTube heavily, like in 2013. They watching after a couple of years of watching GameSack and they were showing all their cool retro games. Like, man, I'm gonna start getting some of the games I used to play. And I had like a bunch of my favorites that I kept, and I'm like, man, but I want to go back and play this game and play that game and yada yada yada. And so yeah, like I mean, that's where it started for me. At first, it started with I want to go back and play. That's actually me talking about Band of the Hawk right there, how I scored that. And But yeah, like I said, I started, getting all the games that I used to have, and once I got most of the games that I used to have, then I started looking at looking at games that I always wanted to play but never got the chance to because I didn't have the time or I was too poor or whatever the case. Actually, I would one thing you might want to start looking at first is try to get yourself some retro magazines because retro magazines are still actually pretty cheap to collect. And so I know a lot of people who collect Game Pro or collect, whatever the case. Whenever I see PSM, that was my favorite magazine growing up. And going through those magazines, I'll find games like, oh, I remember that game, or oh, that's a game I always wanted to play. And then I got the name of it there. And so then I start hunting for it. And so, like for instance, if you grew up playing like the N64 or whatever the case, then you might want to start off collecting like Game Pro magazines, just so you can go through and flip and look at the ads that they used to have and all of that stuff, so you can remind yourself of some of these games you forgot. And so for me, like I said, PlayStation 1, that's what I grew up on. That was my favorite console growing up. And so I started looking through PSM magazine again, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that game. I remember that game. Actually got a whole wall with a bunch of like ads from PSM and some of the other Electronic Gaming Monthly and stuff like that I used to read back in the day. And so got that there to pay homage to that. But that would be my first step, is to figure out what console you want to collect for, and then I would start with all the games you used to have, and then maybe go through video game magazines to kind of refresh your memory on some of the games you wanted to play but then forgot about because you never got a chance to, and things like that. And so I have a blast. I look at my magazines all the time and find a game. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that, and now I gotta try to find Vanguard Bandits on the PS1, but it's like a $70 game now, so I'm like, ugh. But so that's how I would answer that question. Like I said, and then go check out that video because, like I said, I got a lot of tips for for grabbing games before they get rare, and it's basically the old adage of zigging when everybody else is zagging. Now that everybody's backing off on picking up PS3 games, I'm probably going to start collecting PS3 games. Luckily, when that whole BS hit with the store and all of that, luckily a lot of those heavy hitters I already had because I was collecting that while everybody was collecting Genesis and Super Nintendo and N64 and all of that stuff. And I never really cared enough about those systems anyway, and most of that stuff I can just emulate. Hey, what's going on, Milo? I'm getting visited by one of our mascots to the channel here. Milo, what's going on, sir? How can I help you? We're just talking video games. What are you doing? Yeah. So if you guys haven't been on the stream before, at some point Milo or Kona or both of them will bomb my set, and they like looking at the camera because they're like, what is that? What is dad talking into? Anyway, let me catch up on some of these comments, and then we'll get into all the stuff I got left is PS4. So let me check this, and then we'll get into the last of those games here. Let's see. Milo, get out of the way. Okay, hold on real fast. Milo, come here, buddy. Come here. Yeah. Mwah. Go sit on the floor. Go have fun. Let's see. So anyway, that's some tips for you. So that's why before I get a game, I look at the gameplays of a game and see how it is and whether or not to like it. And that's a great resource. Like I said, if you go through these old video game magazines and you're just looking at screenshots, yeah, definitely type it into YouTube and watch people play it. And I do that all the time. And, like Garrett is saying, or if I'm at a game store and I see a game and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, pull it up on YouTube real quick and see what the gameplay is like and see if it's something I want to play. And if it makes the grade, then I go ahead and snag it up. Let's see. That's how you find hidden gems, by looking for cheaper ones or cool covers. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's how I found all of the diamonds in the rough. And actually, it's crazy because a lot of the hidden gems that I talk about, I already knew about back in the day. And it was like, mainly because we couldn't get the mainstream games because they were brand new and expensive and whatever. And my dad was like, I got this game, it's just as good. And sometimes it'll be a hidden gem, like Kaya Dark Lineage. That's how I got turned on to that. There was no getting, I think it came out around the same time as like Jack 2 or like Ratchet and Clank Going Commando or something like that. There was some huge platformers out at the time, Mario Galaxy, stuff like that. You couldn't get during the holidays or whatever because they were super popular. My dad is like, oh, well, this is they told me this game is kind of like that and blah blah blah. I got this game; it's just as good. And sometimes it would be, and then sometimes you would get Superman 64. But yeah, so that's how I got put onto a lot of that stuff. Just that was my dad zagging because everybody else was zigging, and he's a chronic procrastinator, so he's always late to the party. So, but yeah, it worked out in that sense. I actually love GameStop. I got Solo to Robo for $20. It's like $700 just for the cart. Realistically, you can get amazing deals at GameStop. Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, that's because like they're not paid to, the GameStop is a business. So at the end of the day, they got to move this merchandise. So they're not that interested on what's going on, with with price charting and stuff like that. So like I said, they could have Berserk Band of the Hawk in their store and let it sit for a month, at $120, or they can, sell it for what it was going for before people started acting a fool, and they can move it right away so they can get more stock and all of that stuff. So yeah, a lot of that, and that's what it is with a lot of these game stores. So like I said, don't be discouraged, just because it's not the garage sale deals, or your favorite YouTuber is finding all these super rare stuff at Goodwill and stuff like that. Like I said, don't feel like you can't get good stuff at the retail store still, because you can. And like I said, these are businesses. At the end of the day, they got to move that product, so they're not going to sit there and sell you Godzilla for $250 when they can sell it for 60 and get it out of the store right away and make they $60 and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, I do not sleep on GameStop, Vintage Stock, C-3po, Game Exchange, all of those places. EB Games, if you still got EB Games where you're at. Yeah, like don't sleep on any of them. Let's see. Oh, I got some new comments. I'm falling behind here. See, I got the new. Oh, he got the wait. So I got the new Xbox for original price. Yeah, and I was telling my girl, I saw PS5s at Walmart too, like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, they had them, but again, I don't care. I was broke anyway. I couldn't buy it, but I was like, yeah, they got a few. Like if you lucky, man, and just catch them when they stock them. Yeah, I wait for that PS5 Slim. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm waiting for the Slim. Who are you feeling in hip hop these days? Oh man. It's crazy because I haven't been really following a lot of the new guys. Let's see, some of my favorites of the new school, not even so new school now because I got put on to some of them like 10 years ago. But Freddy Gibbs, my boy from Indiana, he's definitely slept on. He got a good, a lot of good stuff. Pusha T, again, not new, but he's still coming out with bangers. So Daytona was a fantastic body of work. I'm waiting for that new joint from him. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's crazy. Like we're seeing a kind of a resurgence of a lot of my favorites from back in the day. Like, the Locks has been going hard the last year and a half. Like, and people, just got put on to them from that versus battle that they had with Dipset. But man, like Locks they've been getting it in, and it was cool to see DMX, release one more album before he passed away. And unfortunately, but it was still a great body of work. Exodus was, and so that's what I like to see. It's crazy to think about because hip hop. We always thought about hip hop as a young man's game, but you got to understand, hip hop is only as a genre of music is only like 40 years old. 40, maybe 50 years old, depending on who you say the pioneers are. And so like we really, you got guys like Bruce Springsteen and Johnny Cash who made, records up until the day he died, like all these old rock stars, and they're still kicking ass. Like you can still go to an Aerosmith concert, and even the Beatles like had some new music come out recently. And so it's like, it's crazy because like, but rock and roll has been around for, closer to 100 years now. So, we got to see all of those guys grow old, but, people always used to say like, oh, nah, you too old to be in hip hop and stuff. But no, that's not the case. Like hip hop just hasn't been around long enough to allow these guys to get old. And so now we're seeing, like, we're seeing people like Jay-Z and, and Kanye West still put out great music. And like I said, I was mentioning Pusha T and the Locks and all that. Actually, Styles, or not Styles, but Jadakiss got a song with Queen Latifah called Living Legend. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a great record. And it's like Queen Latifah, like, people don't even remember that she was a rapper. Like, people just associate her with acting like they do Will Smith. But she was one of the pioneers of female hip hop in the late 80s. Like, so it's crazy to see that. But that's who I'm listening to these days. I'm an old dude, so I'm listening to the old dudes. There are some newer guys that I liked. I was hardcore into Meek Mill. I was into the drill scene. So I was listening to some King Von and stuff like that, and Lil Durk and all of them. But yeah, that's who I'm listening to these days. Let's see. My shelf is like 2 more rows away from being full with PS2 games. That's what's up. Yeah, I got my PS2 collection, I think, is standing at about 200 titles right now. So I got a big full shelf of that. Hyphy Goat is in the house. What's going on? Julian is in the house. What's up, man? How are you doing? Guy says, I am an unintentional collector. Been playing games since I was 5 and just never sold games. That was the period I was buying, but stopped due to wasting money. Yeah, and that's how I got back into it, because it was like, back in the day, you had to flip games, like, to play the new stuff, and so you could never have a collection because you never have money. But around the time I started watching GameSack in like 2013 and 2015, I found myself buying games and then not trading them off because I had the money to just buy more. So by the time I decided I'm gonna start collecting again, I had about 100 titles in my collection. And so think about that. Like, that was like 2015, 2014, because it was like a year or two before I started YouTube. That's when I started collecting. And so, like, 2014, we'll say I had 100 titles in 2014. Here we are in 2022, and I still don't have 1,000 yet. So, like I said, I don't buy games super often. Like I said, I try to play them all first, but that's how it was with me too. I had accumulated, 100 games just because, like, it got to the point where I didn't need to trade them off to buy new ones. Let's see. Great tip with the magazines. I do the same. Absolutely. Says I might try to collect Xbox 360 games. And that's a great place to start, because the Xbox 360 is a super cheap console to collect for. You can buy an X, if you don't have an Xbox 360, you can buy a whole bundle. Like, I see them on Facebook all the time for less than $100. And you can get all types of, let me show you here. Like, here's one of the Xbox 360 consoles I got. It's that Halo 4 one. Beautiful console. I love this Xbox 360. And I got this in a bundle for like $40. It came with a bunch of other games. And like I said, I'm not the type that collects multiple systems, but at $40 in it, I bought it because it had a bunch of other Xbox and Xbox 360 games with it. So I'm like, man, I get a console too. Like, that was a no-brainer. So I had to scoop that up. Here's another one. I got this one too. I saw this at a pawn shop for like $80. And of course, that's the R2d2 Xbox 360. And again, I just got it because I'm like, man, I had to have that one because it makes a little R2d2 noises when you like open the disc tray and stuff. And then at vintage stock, I found that for $15. That was the Connect that went with it. So I bought that. I found this like 2 or 3 years later. So I grabbed that. And then also at another pawn shop, I found the C-3po controller. And then they have this controller too that went with it. And this wasn't part of the Star Wars bundle. This is just like one that somebody customized. But I'm like, it fits the theme. So I just grabbed these two. And these are like $15 a piece. So, and that's still the case. Like, Xbox 360 is still super cheap to collect for. There's very few heavy hitters. Like I said, Operation Darkness is one of them. And you can still get Operation Darkness for under $100. So it's not like retarded prices, but like, you can still get it. Like I said, the Spectral Force is a future heavy hitter, but right now, you can still get this game for like $35-40. And so, yeah, there's tons of games that, you can get. And honestly, if we're being honest, a lot of the multi-platform games play best on the 360 anyway. So yeah, I would say the Xbox 360 is still one of the best places to start. A lot of the games still hold up extremely well today because they really started to innovate with a lot of the gameplay styles and a lot of things that we take for granted nowadays. Graphics still hold up for the most part for most of the games, especially the higher end games. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a great place to start. You can quickly get a huge collection of 360 games for just a couple $100. Like, it's insane. So let's see what else we got. Evil Alex says, I collected a lot of PS2 and 360 games last 3 years. Absolutely, because PlayStation 2 games were cheap for a while. They're starting to go up in price now, but yeah, I definitely got it in with the 360 and the PlayStation 2. Like I said, my 360 collection is sitting at probably 125-ish. Like I said, my PS2 collection, I got like 200 games there. And so, heck yeah. Let's see. Your videos help me a lot. I appreciate that. That's my goal. Like, I really try, like, just not to make, vanity content. Like, oh, hey, YouTube, look at me doing stuff. I need 1,000 subscribers because look at me. Just cause I need 1,000 subscribers. Just cause, like, I like, for anything I'm putting out to be a net positive for someone somewhere. So if it's not, I hope it's at least educational, if nothing else. I like to try to be entertaining when I can. But yeah, like I said, the more I'm really trying to share information and hopefully help people out. And so, yeah, that's why definitely like something I keep in mind every time I hit record is like, oh, is this actually going to benefit somebody? And I've made videos that I shot the video, edited it, and then just never put it out because I look at it, I'm like, man, this is not a benefit to anyone. Like, I've made a ton of it. I made a few videos like that where I just make them, and then right before I upload it, I just scrap the whole thing. So I really try to keep it like on point with that. So I appreciate that. Oh, that bout-ish song, but oh yeah. Oh, dude, like I had that. I drove my girl crazy with that song. Like, I had that song on repeat for a month and a half when that came out. I was like, oh my god, it's the Locks and it's DMX. And like, a DMX, he sounded the same and he still had that. Like, come on, man, that song. Oh my god, freaking love that song, man. That made me want to rob myself. Okay, I wanted to break into my own house after listening to that song. Like, and having DMX on the hook on that song was just perfect. Like, yeah, I mean, he doing the barking and all that like he used to. And I'm like, oh, and it just sounded like top form, like vintage DMX. And it was sad, he went because of the drugs. Because like in that song, it showed he had gained weight and he looked healthy again. I'm like, oh, okay, it looks like he leaving that stuff alone. And he just had a relapse, unfortunately, and it's sad. And a lot of people, give him crap for that and be like, oh man, he got that money and blah, 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 and just started taking drugs. But y'all gotta understand, like, DMX was homeless at like 12 years old. Like, he got addicted to drugs as a kid. Okay. He's been addicted to drugs since he was a teenager when he was homeless out there. And so that was, those were demons he fought his entire life. So it's not like he just got famous and then just fell into drugs like famous people often do and then just threw his life away. No, it was, that was something he was dealing with. And while he ultimately lost that battle, like, I'm glad that, he got on the path he did and became, because like I said, like, his music, like DMX, like the thing about DMX, and let me, yeah, I'm getting on a rant, I know, but for those of you who don't know, surely you know who DMX is. Like, DMX is one of the most masculine people I've ever seen in my life. I've never met him, obviously, but I mean, especially in the 90s, like, you wanted like a picture of like an alpha male, like, that was DMX. He was one of like the hardest, like toughest, like grittiest dudes out there. But he used to always talk about, facing his demons, and he was never ashamed to talk about his addiction to drugs or, all of his other mental health issues. And he talked about it at a time when it was not cool to talk about, and it's still not cool. And it's part of I grew up like around a lot of toxic masculinity, especially in the hood, because like black people, like a lot of us, we got a chip on our shoulder, especially from, the older generations, because like we had to deal with a lot. And so for us, like it was beneficial to us to be rough and tough so nobody could get over on us and, all that stuff. We don't cry and this and that. And, we just didn't try to show emotion because, we had to build we felt that we had to build a lot of emotional armor around ourselves just to deal with, being black day to day. So unfortunately, a side effect of that was, like I said, there's a lot of toxic masculinity. And, if you were dealing with mental health and things like that, it was just something you didn't talk about. Like I said, my parents, prime example, like they got a lot of demons that they're dealing with, and I saw it growing up, and we just didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? And so even my own issues I was having growing up as a teenager and stuff, and being angry and being sad and depressed and not knowing how to process my feelings, and I just didn't talk about it because basically you was a bitch if you talked about it. And so DMX really like helped a lot of young black people because like he talked about it at a time when it wasn't cool to talk about. And it's, you say, people that we were taught, like if you talk about your feelings, you was a wuss or whatever. But here's DMX again, like the most masculine, most rough, tough dude you ever knew. No one would ever question DMX's masculinity, but he was somebody who talked about his feelings all the time. Tupac was another person like that. And so it was great to see that in hip hop. And so I'm glad that DMX had that influence on myself and a lot of other people in that regard. So that's my little rant on that. But let's finish these up and then we'll get to these games here. Let's see. That song basically brought back the Rough Riders. Oh yeah, dude, like that was like Rough Riders anthem all over again. Let's see, how you feeling about PC gaming these days? These days, I don't know, man. I just never got. I don't even own a PC. I did this laptop that I'm looking at right now. This is my whole command center for creating YouTube videos and everything like that. So I do everything on this laptop computer here. So I don't even own a PC. I would like to. I used to have one back in the day, and I had a bunch of like NES ROMs on it. I had a blast plan, like, and so like I wanted to get into PC gaming and just never got around to it. And like I said, that's just a whole nother beast. I'm really focused these days on the consoles. And so like I said, I'm not like some kind of like elitist. Like I don't have a problem with PC games or anything like that. It's just I didn't play a lot of PC games growing up. And so as a retro gamer now, like I'm just, on the consoles that we used to be on. So again, that being said, I would like to get into or to PC gaming at some point. I just haven't gotten that to that point yet. Let's see. On the Xbox 360, Street Fighter versus Tekken was a pretty good game, and then the Crackdown was also. Yeah, I remember when the first Crackdown came out. I heard Crackdown 3 wasn't good. I don't know what happened there, but I do need to get I'm gonna get all 3 Crackdown games. I think I got the first one. I liked it well enough. But as far as like open world games go, for me, like I just had so many. Like I said, I had that around the time I had Saints Row 2, and Saints Row 2 was definitely by far it's the best Saints Row in the series if you haven't played it. But Saints Row 2 was like one of my favorite open world games of the era. And like I said, I just didn't get into the Crackdown series a lot because it seemed like Saints Row 2. I mean, Saints Row 2 is pretty much like filling that need for me, so I didn't really feel the need to play it. Well, let's see. But yeah, Street Fighter versus Tekken, I like that game. I got Street Fighter versus Tekken on the PS3 because I like playing fighting games with the DualShock 3 as opposed to the 360. I like the D-pad better. So yeah, I do got it on the PS3. Those are sweet. The system and the controller. Yeah, like I said, I didn't find them all at the same time. I just found bits and pieces. Like I said, I found the console first at a pawn shop. Then like a year after that, I found those 2 controllers at another pawn shop. And then like that, the Kinect I found at Vintage Stock. And so I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and scoop that up. So now I got the whole set. If I ever find the box someday, I'll grab that. But I don't really collect boxes like that. I don't have the room. I'm running out of room as it is for boxes and stuff. So let me take a look at some more. Everything I got left is PlayStation 4. So we'll just jump into it. I'm going to show this one. If you guys follow me, you saw this on the community post. Found Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the complete edition. I found that in the wild at the local retro store. And that was crazy because this game, like I said, I was looking at it online. This game isn't too expensive anymore. Like you can get a copy of it for about $50, $60, and I would pay that for that game. I used to have this digitally on my PS3, and so yeah, I love this game, and so it's cool. It comes in like this VHS case. It's hard to open though, so I always set it in my lap before I open it, so the stuff doesn't fall everywhere. But whew, open it up here. You got the game there, of course, and like I said, this is usually what I see on eBay. I just see the game here in the the case, and like I said, oh, that's cool. It's got like a little movie ticket and some paraphernalia and stuff from the game, and it's got a complete instruction booklet, which is nice. The instruction booklet is in full color too, so that's fantastic. So I mean, just getting this alone, like I would pay 50, $60 for that because I love the game so much, and to have it physically, I was on the hunt for it anyway, and so I was gonna eventually buy this on eBay, just grab it. And so to find this complete copy, and like I said, it was like 70, $80. I had some duplicates that I traded in, and so I got this copy for like $48. So I'm like, boom, like $48 for the complete edition. I was gonna pay 60 for this. So I mean, yeah, like why not? And what else is I haven't even looked through it. But yeah, look, we got the video game soundtrack, which is fantastic. And so even though this was used, it was nice because everything looks to be in it untouched. I got a ton of I got all the stickers. That's awesome. Uh-oh, what do we got here? Oh, it's a huge map. I'm not gonna fold this out all the way. I might like post this in a picture later because I don't want to put it all back together. But look, it's the city of Toronto, but you can see it's in the Mario like 3 style map. So that's cool. And that's it. And it's got this little thing to help it all fit in there. So like I said, that's really cool. And like I said, for $50, that was definitely a steal for me because I mean, this is one of the greatest like 2D beat 'em ups of all time. And we finally got it physical thanks to Limited Run. And this is one of the Limited Run games that there's like a lot of copies of. So you don't have to go buy this for $200. Maybe someday you will. But like I said, right now you can get this on eBay easy for, around $60, $70 on the high end. And the complete edition, I think, is going for like twice that. And so I was luckily to find that, and kind of catch them slipping on that and got that for like $48. So that was cool. Let me see. What am I missing? I think they should have made a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. I think the real life Street Fighter would win. Yeah, that's crazy that they never did that. I used to say that all the time because in the 90s, like that was the thing, like Street Fighter 2 versus Mortal Kombat 2, like who would win, like which game is better, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of back and forth about Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat in the 90s. Me personally, I thought Street Fighter was closer to the King of Fighters and all of that stuff, but they usually pair those two together because of the cultural impact that they both had at the same time, in the same era. So, but yeah, like they definitely should have done a Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. That would have been phenomenal. That's easy money right there. Said just got For Honor at GameStop for $5. Yeah, that's a great game, and that's one I don't have in my collection. I need to go back and get that. But yeah, for $5, like yeah, all day, all day. Like I said, a lot of good stuff to be had at GameStop. This is an awesome little collector's edition. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I'm not one to really collect collector's editions like that. I don't really do that often. But like I said, that was a really good one for a game that, I really liked. So I was like, why not? Especially at the price. Now, let's see, going on. I got 4 titles left. Oh, that's crazy. Oddly enough, all 4 of these titles are PlayStation VR games. So that's awesome. So this one I got at the swap meet here on the PlayStation VR with the PlayStation 4. This is the Tetris Effect. I've seen so many good things about this game, and this is one I really wanted to play. Actually, me and my girlfriend, she don't know it, but we about to play this tonight because Tetris is freaking awesome, and she's a huge fan of Tetris. I love Tetris, and playing it in VR, like that's super cool. I'm excited. I got it for 15 bucks. Like I said, it was 20. I asked him 15 and he said cool. So this is one I had to get because I don't see this very often anymore. So if you don't have Tetris Effect on the PS4 and you want to play it at all in the future, I would definitely get this game now because this one is disappearing from the wild. I used to see Tetris Effect all the time. And then a few months ago when I went to go look for it to buy it, I can't find it anywhere now. Path of Neo is the same way. And I used to see Path of Neo all the time. I didn't care because I already had it. Now I don't know what happened to my copy. And so now I have to buy Path of Neo like this week. So I'm going to get that game this week so I can stop stressing about it because I do feel like Path of Neo may shoot up in price in the very near future. So, but Tetris Effect, I think, is another one that's going to do that. So if you haven't gotten Tetris Effect, definitely grab it. I saw it at that swap meet and I wasn't going to get it, but I'm like, man, you know what? Like, I don't see this game very often anymore. Like, let me just go ahead and get it while I'm here. And like I said, he let me grab it for 15. So I was like, cool. So I'm super excited to have Tetris Effect. My homeboy Nitro Online, he used to play this game all the time. So shout out to Nitro Online. I'll show this one here. This one, you guys actually, was it was on the last stream that I bought this game. I bought this game mid-stream last time. This is Arizona Sunrise. This is the PAL version. This did not come out physically in America, which is weird because it takes place in the state of Arizona. This came sealed. It was $20, and I bought this game because I was on the stream just like this, and I was talking back and forth to Professor Joe Casey. He was in the stream, and so we was talking about this game. He was telling me how awesome it was, and I always wanted to play Arizona Sunshine, but I didn't buy it because I wanted to get it physically, and physically this game was $80 forever. And so this game, for whatever reason, I have no clue why it's dropped in price so drastically, but I was like, I bought it. I didn't realize it was going to be sealed though, and I don't know if you can hear that. The disc is loose in there. So actually, let me break the seal on this because, like I said, y'all know, like I said, I don't want y'all to think I'm in the sealed games like that. I am not. I buy them and then they just happen to be sealed. But let me open this real fast because I hear the disc bouncing around in there. Ooh, broke that seal. It feels so good. But Arizona Sunrise is a first-person shooter in VR mode, and it works with everything. Like, it works with the DualShock 4 controller, which is cool if you just want to get casual with it. It works with the Move if you have the Move wands. It works really good with that, and then you can even use the aim controller with it. Yeah, that disc was loose, fluttering around in there. It didn't scratch though, so. I don't know how that happens there. Now it's in there straight. But like I said, I always wanted to play this game. And I think I played the demo of it back in the day. I downloaded it, but I always wanted to own it. And now I do because randomly this game is cheap now. So we was in the chat and I just looked at it on eBay and I'm like, oh, wait, this game isn't $80 anymore. I said, you know what? I'm going to buy this right now. So I did, like, in the middle of the stream. So happy to get that one because I love me some VR. And if you guys haven't got into the VR, you definitely need to get into the VR. It's so good. So good. Let's see. DJ K Slay's rolling 200 deep is literally a homage to everyone who grew up off the hip hop. Is astonishing who he actually got on the track and dropped some bars. I have to check that out. I still can't believe that Kanye got a verse from 3 Stacks and then didn't put it on the album. Like, how do you do that? Like, what kind of dope are you smoking to get a verse from freaking Andre 3000 and then just don't put it out? Like, what? Like, that would have been the whole selling point of his Donda album for me. I think he did rectify that and put it out or something like that. I can't remember what happened there, but Tetris Effect is $10 at GameStop right now, and that's cool. Like, so yeah, if you can find it at GameStop, definitely get it. For $10, it's a fantastic price. Like, just in my area, I don't see the Tetris Effect anymore, and I have no clue. LOL, he was tweaking for that. Yeah, he was. Like, I have no, like, dude, like, I've never heard a bad verse from Andre 3000 or Big Boy for that matter. Like, Outkast was like one of the best duos of all time. Okay, so I got 2 more to go. So these seem to be pretty uncommon games. I don't know what these are going for. What are these going for on YouTube? Let me take a look. Or YouTube, on eBay. Let me see before I show here. It may not be anything, but these are games I never see. and I just happened to see them at GameStop, and so I'm like, man, let me get that. But I'll show you here. So this one here got this Apex construct on the PlayStation 4, and VR mode is required in this. So this is a straight up VR game. Don't know anything about it. Apex, I think it's Apex is in Apex Legends, but it's kind of like a side story. I see the guy using a bow and arrow, and it looks like he's moving around in an open world. So that was cool. And like I said, $10 for that game. I don't know what it's going for. Hello again, Milo. Need something, buddy? No. Like I said, I fed you earlier. I don't know what the dealio is. But yeah, like I said, Apex Construct. I don't know how well you can see the back of that, but let's say he's got the bow and arrow popping. It looks like an Apex game, but just in VR. So I'm excited to check this one out and see what it's about. It looks like you use this. Okay, the PlayStation Move is required, which is fine. I got like half a dozen of those Move wands, which is nice because the ones from the days of the PS3 work on VR, which is fantastic. So yeah, I got that game for $10. I don't know. Let me see if we can see what that's going for on eBay. Because again, it might be more common than I think. I just think it's uncommon because it's but like I said, I never see it around my neck of the woods. So oh yeah, see, it's not expensive. It's going for like $20 online. So yeah, it's not expensive. It's just uncommon. I never see that game, but so I had to scoop it up because GameStop had it. So here's this other one though. Before I show it, I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's see this. Is that an R? I think it's an R. ENT. Oh, maybe it's an A. SAI. There it is. Okay, so here's the last pickup. I'm going to show you all this last pickup I got on the PlayStation VR is C-3po on the PlayStation VR. Now, this is a cool game. This one is going for like $45-$50. So that's crazy. GameStop, again, had it for the low. I got it for $14.99 recently. And so I remember hearing, I think this is the game that I remember hearing about, the ninja game, where you get a bunch of different ninja weapons like dual katanas and shuriken and all that stuff, but it's all in VR. And this is one of the more uncommon games on the PlayStation VR. Again, it's going for like $50. Caught GameStop slipping again. They don't care about that. They're just trying to move the merchandise. So they will gladly sell this to me for $14.99 so they can get it out the store and focus on something else. So I was super happy to get that. Again, I'm always on the lookout for PlayStation VR stuff. And so I got a few good games, to add to the collection. So I'm excited for that. And my VR collection is growing. So we had somebody sneak in here. Was that Zybalba? What's going on, man? I was just going to say, I was telling everybody, shout out to you for the birthday present, that Way of the Samurai 4. I greatly appreciate that. That's exciting because, like I said, I've got all but one game left in the series, and it was a spinoff that came out on the PS Vita. So I may just bite the bullet and buy it once I can remember the name of it. So I'll have to search that up again this evening. But yeah, man, shout out to you. And we are out here. Oh, wait, I got one more pickup to show you guys. One more. And this one is a doozy. So hold on just a second. I gotta go grab it. Where's that box at? Okay, I'm not gonna show you the actual item because I've got it hooked up, but and this was a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Got it for like $100, and I was super excited. I didn't really know much about this item. I remember hearing about it, and I bring this up because we were talking about 3D earlier on the PS3, but we got the PlayStation 3D display. And again, that was a nice little find. It was complete in box here. And so, like I said, I got it hooked up over there. If you guys remember my small TV that used to hang out in that corner by itself, I replaced that with the PlayStation display. And so that's cool because I actually, since I have so many PS3 games, I got like 150, 160 of those, and many of them are 3D games. So that's cool. So I definitely want to check out 3D, and hopefully we'll be doing an episode on 3D games on the PlayStation 3 at some point. But that was super happy to find that, especially at the price. It was like $100, like I said, and to have it in that nice a condition. The owner of it, he sold it to me, said he wanted to use it as a monitor, but then they ended up getting a bigger monitor. So he said it sat in his closet for like 10 years and they just didn't know what to do with it. So he just figured he'd try to sell it. And like I said, when I found it, I saw that it had been up for like 6 weeks and just nobody was interested in it. So I'm like, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a PlayStation guy. So all the, the weird quirky stuff about the PlayStation 3. Got that, and between that and like the PlayStation Move, they were really trying to experiment during the 7th generation. So that was cool. Super happy to find that. Let's see, I'm looking for more PSVR games myself. Got a VR a few weeks back. Heck yeah, I need that 3D screen. It looks really cool. Yeah, it's super cool. And like I said, it's got some glasses, 3D glasses, and they're nice. They fit over my glasses, so I don't even need to take my glasses off to wear them. So that's nice. And so yeah, I honestly I haven't tried it out yet though. I just haven't had the time. So I did manage to hook it up, and right now I've got my PSP, one of my PSPs, and my PS Vita TV hooked up to it. So I play my PSP games and my PS Vita games on that display, and it looks super fantastic. So like I said, I got all the 3D games on the PS3, and I'm looking to try those out in the very near future. So that should be exciting. So, but yeah, that is it, man. Those are my pickups. So we did it, and actually it was faster than I thought. I ramble and rant a lot, so I thought this was gonna be a 3-hour stream, but looks like we're gonna do it in 2. We'll do it in 2. So any questions, comments, concerns, threats before I get out of here? Let me do some shilling, if I may. So for those of you who don't know, in addition to making these retro video games on YouTube, I also talk about film and photography. I actually got into film and photography whilst making YouTube videos because I started to do some research on cameras and stuff so I can get better and so I can make better content for you guys. And so that's what I did. As time went on, I actually just got like super hooked on taking photos and making films. I want to make a short film. That's my goal for this year, is to make I want to make a Star Wars short film. I'm in pre-production. I haven't really talked about it yet, but I'm in pre-production right now. I'm gathering resources and stuff right now. Yeah, you missed most of the stream. I'll have to go back and watch afterward. Absolutely. Yeah, we had a lot of fun and showed all the stuff we got from the swap meet, as well as some other things I just picked up throughout the month. So but yeah, I want to show this here. It's just my first and last name, Antoine Sexton, but it's a channel for the beginner and intermediate filmmaker and photographer. And so, like I said, I was just talking about a bunch of different stuff. A lot of it also is made up of like little vlogs too, where it shows like some kind of some behind the scenes stuff that's happening on Lightsaber Samurai as well. Like actually I'm shooting a video. I'm in the middle of shooting a video now because I want to redo my channel. It's time to rebrand, and I want to do that for 2022. I want to get a new channel logo. I'm in the process of trying to design one right now. I also want to redo my YouTube banner and stuff, and so I'm vlogging that process right now. So when that's done, that'll probably be the next video, if not one of the next videos that's up on this channel. So definitely, even if you don't like film and photography stuff, definitely subscribe, because a lot of the things that I'm doing on Lightsaber Samurai, I'm going to post the behind the scenes stuff here. So like I said, I don't have a Patreon or anything like that yet. So anything that I shoot, like behind the scenes type of stuff, I'm going to shoot on this channel. So it'll be right there for you for free. So all you got to do is subscribe and hit that like button on the videos, and we are off to the races. So that is my self-shilling for today. Appreciate you standing by and listening to that. I'm at 76 subscribers. I started, going fairly hard on that, in the last couple of months. And so it'd be nice to get 100 before year's end, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I definitely need to put out a couple more videos first. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. Let's see. Anything I missed? Josh says, great stream. Added most of these games to my list. We'll check out your other channel. I appreciate that. This channel's grown in quality a lot since the first few videos I've seen of yours a while back. Yeah, man, it took a while. Like, so man, some of my earlier stuff, that was like some of the worst videos on the internet. But like I said, I mean, I'm still proud of it. You just gotta, the more you shoot, the better you get. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you buy, and like I said, that camera I was shooting on in that video you just saw, that was still like one of my like first cameras that I had. Like, and I usually just shoot everything. And I mean, I shoot everything on that channel in 1080p. I mean, I don't even use 4K on that channel. And so I'll put it when I edit it, I'll put it in a 4K timeline. So it says 4K when you look at it on YouTube, but I mean, I shoot everything in 1080p on that channel just because it's a faster turnaround. I can edit videos quicker and stuff like that. So they still had great info though. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I was talking about the right stuff, but I just had to get like the production values to match, like the information I was given. So it's hard to grow like until you get to that point. Like, some people can do it with bad equipment, but I mean, really, like, especially in the retro video game in our niche, like, there's so many good channels with good information. You got Pac-Man Case, who was here earlier, Retro Rivals, to name a few. They got really high production values on their channel. Mr. Right Way is another one. He's got high production values on his channel. So I'm competing with people like that. And, if I'm talking about, good stuff as well, but my production values isn't, it's going to be hard to get noticed. So you got to have the good production values to get noticed. And then if your content is good, hopefully people will stick around for that. So it's crazy looking at my analytics though. The people who watch my videos, like, of the people who watch my videos, usually only about 40% of them are subscribed to me. Like 60 to 80% of people who watch my videos on any given day aren't even subscribed to me. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I appreciate that. But yeah, man, I think I'm going to end it there. My nose is super stuffy right now. I don't know if you can tell. I've been getting over, like I said, I was feeling sick the last couple of days, been fighting a cold and stuff like that. So I'm coming out on the other end of it. I'm moving into that gross phase, where you start coughing and like all the gross stuff comes up. So everything's trying to get out of my body now, which is good. But because of that, it's making things a little difficult. So yeah, man, I do believe that's all I got for you guys. If you guys like this content, go ahead, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, you'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace. And that is it for this live stream. We did it. Like I said, we got about a week or so of the year left. So I want to try to I got a video on VR that's like 70% done. So we'll talk about some VR stuff. I'm glad I got these games because I did a VR. I had the VR video done actually, and I had to scrap the whole thing because I don't know if you guys know, but GameSack, they're a large channel. He's like 260K. He did a video on VR like a week before I put mine out, and he talked about 4 of the games that I talked about in my video, he talked about. So I'm like, damn it, I got to redo the whole thing now and try to pick games that he didn't pick. So if we both come up, in the algorithm or whatever, like my video just isn't like a copy of his. So I have to reshoot the whole thing and play some more games. I might try to add 1 or 2 or both of these. Well, I got 4 games here. So, but I might save these for like a VR hidden gems, because these are definitely uncommon VR games. Tetris isn't, but the other ones are. So we might talk about those in the future. But that's it for me. Oh, the Russian guy is back. Your Dreams Online. Welcome back. So have a good year. I appreciate it, man. I will, Josh. Man, it was nice talking to you one on one. Like it was nice meeting you. Like I feel like we haven't had a chance to talk that much, which is why I like to live stream and why I need to live stream more often because it's cool. Like I feel like I know you now. Like I know it's late there. So have a good night, man. We'll see you guys in the next stream. We'll see you in the comment section and yeah, y'all take it easy. I can't find the turn off button. I'm a failure. I need somebody to come do this for me. Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. Okay. We're getting out of here. Okay. All right. I'm out, guys.